Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So today I'd like to talk to you about BLOX from X Funds. They're managed by Title, and this is a really cool Bitcoin related ETF. So this is actually trying to accomplish three different things. They're owning Bitcoin and Ethereum. They are investing in crypto related companies. And then they're doing a cover call overlay on top of it. And I do like that they are trying to do everything in the same thing, but I also think that you could just own Bitcoin and invest in crypto related things as a growth fund and then have a cover call ETF that does just focuses on one thing. So it's nice that they are trying to package it. I think one of the trends that I'm seeing is these issuers playing around with different hedging and just different makeups of things to maximize our NAV, but also our income. So I was looking through the prospectus, and well, first of all, did I mention this is from Title? So this means that Jay is one of the managers for it. So the main objective of this is price appreciation. The second objective is income, which is opposite of most of these income ETFs that we see. So right now, BLOX is the latest distribution was a 33% yield. So this won't be a particularly high income ETF. Just because I associate all of the crypto related ETFs with really high yield, but this might be a better overall fund. And the interesting thing about the options overlay portion of BLOX is that they've actually written into this prospectus that they can do call spreads, they can do collars, they can do credit spreads, diagonal spreads, calendar spreads, anything they want, collars. So they've given themselves a lot of leeway to write the right kind of option for that kind of environment that is existing. So I think that them not limiting themselves to just doing a synthetic cover call and doing at the money and in the money, then I think overall we'll get a better total return with this than something that's more mechanical. Anyways, if you wanted something to compare to, because I really like to compare like things to like things, my original thought was with SEPI. And SEPI's from RecShares. They have a basket of stocks that they own and then they write cover calls on them, which I've always liked this. I'm not in it, but I keep thinking about it because I think this is a good long-term holding, and it's also kind of, I guess, like LFGY, which I did not put in here. So this is total bill returns. LFGY, there's no R and Y. Remember that commercial, there's no R in ticket, it's a silent R. Anyways, if you look at all of these, I was thinking that SEPI would be the closest thing to BLOX. So if you had invested in all of these since June of this year, BLOX would have had $12,000. Everything else is in the high $10,000, low $11,000 range. So, or I guess mid $11,000 range. Thank you, Yeeth. But if you are invested in ETH, you're only invested in Ethereum. So I think that for the most part, because these crypto stocks have a lot of high volatility and it's a newish technology, so we don't know which one's going to be like the top dog, quote unquote, which ones are going to be the winners. And we can put, do single stock, like get that single stock risk by doing things like Hood and Misty, all, and it might work out well for us, it might not work out well for us. But if you do the basket of stocks like BLOX or SEPI or LFGY, then if one of their companies is not doing well, they can rebalance and add something different, but it's also not going to tank the entire ETF. So I think that there is just a different strategy and mindset of, if I don't need the maximum yield right now, which in my personal experience, I have had that experience of I need the most yield right now. But if I can get a lower yield, then maybe having something that has more, downside protection or just more diversified, that might be the actual better long-term investment to be in. So that's just something to put out there. I try to compare what is in each of these ETFs, but there's actually not that much overlap considering everything between BLOX and SEPI. You have Block and Coinbase and Robinhood and Mara, MicroStrategy, NVIDIA, Riot, Robinhood, Taiwan Semiconductors, and that's also blocked. But that's it. That's all the overlap that we have. There's the Circle Internet Group, there's FBTC and Galaxy Digital and the Hut. So there's a lot of things that are in the VanEck Bitcoin ETF. So SEPI has a lot more other things though, like Fiserv and Cypher and everything. So I think that if you wanted both SEPI and BLOX, I can't believe I got this far into the video and I forgot to mention this pays weekly. That's another thing. It pays weekly, and I believe that it actually pays on, or it declares on Thursday. So let's look. YieldMite. I told you all I added it, but I forgot to add the distribution, so it didn't actually show up. But so yeah, BLOX is here. It's on Thursdays, and weekly payers do pay a little bit less than when they were monthly because they have to hold more back so that when the market's down, they can kind of smooth out the distributions. So there's that, but it's here. And since we've had like 3 distributions, let's see, BLOX and what is their margin maintenance? Yeah, they have a margin maintenance of 25%. So if we go to XBTY from Granite Shares. So Granite Shares itself is not leveraged, but they do put spreads on leverage. So their margin maintenance is a 50%. So then we would have to compare if the choice is between XBTY and BLOX, we have to say, do I want to be in a basket of stocks or just want to invest in Bitcoin, first of all? And then could I just, with margin, get more BLOX and get a better yield than if I just own XBTY? So that's just some things to consider. My taxable account, I have way too much margin, so I'm not able to be in Granite shares right now because I have too much margin. But blocks might work because it's a 25% margin maintenance, and I do want to get paid on a different day than just Wednesday. So, actually, that might work out well for me because um, a lot of the stuff I own, like YMAX is and Goldie, they declare on Wednesday, so they pay on Friday. So if I'm going to blocks, it declares on Thursday and it pays on Tuesday. So getting paid on Tuesdays and Fridays is good for me, or like just in general, so that, if there's a really big downturn in the market, I could still get paid from something and hopefully that'll take care of whatever margin call happened. So, anyways, um, Blocks is on YieldMite because I gave it its distributions. You can see that we have 3 distributions right now. The stock price is $23.50. The latest distribution was 15 cents. And the historical performance section is not really available because there's no 3 months data. But on this page, you can change the stock price and you can change the dividend amount and the amount that you want to invest in. So if I'm ever late with recording the distributions, you can put it, or if you want to try to project, like, oh, what does this look like if it's at this price? And it'll give you how many additional shares and what the distribution amount would have been. So if we also change this to be like $1,000, this was $8.51. And if I say, like, what if it paid like 5 cents, then I would get $2.13. So, and then you can also do little projections of like, what if it goes down to $2 and then it pays. Anyways, so you can click on the name of the fund and it'll go directly to BLOX. So, I think that it's time now to tell you about today's song, which is the Crypto Crush. It's a rockabilly song and I think it's really fun and you might like it. So, are you interested in getting into blocks? And let me know. I will talk to you later. Bye.